The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The COMELEC says health officials have the last say in implementing health protocols this campaign season. On One News' The Chiefs, COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez said the poll body will only follow what the health authorities will allow on protocols in campaign rallies. This following the statement of acting COMELEC Chair Socorro Inting that the poll body is open to easing its health rules for the conduct of campaigns.
Well, Mami, yung context nung sinabi ni Commissioner Inting yan, I think that was yesterday, she said, if the appropriate health authorities ease up on the guidelines, then we will ease up on the guidelines as well.
So the health experts will have the last say?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Tama naman po siguro yun.
Senatorial candidate Teddy Baguilet has revealed his plans if elected as part of Congress. In an interview on Agenda, Baguilet said he will push for marital dissolution instead of divorce. And he has also agreed to champion the LGBTQ+ community after hearing of the discrimination that they face in the country. But after acknowledging the challenges in pushing for progressive laws, Baguilet says he will first focus on climate action. And that's why he plans to phase out coal and diesel power plants in the Philippines.
Congress is a very conservative institution. The powers that be in Congress would rather have the status quo than push for very progressive laws. No? Kaya nga sinabi ko, talagang mahirap yung mga pinutulok ko mga batas because it's really very progressive in the sense that it addresses the roots of our problem. No? But if there's one law that I'd really like to push, I'll talk about something that's connected to climate action. Kasi ang climate change, hindi lang naman buhay ng Pilipinas, it's buhay ng buong mundo.
In other news, some senators are eyeing to conduct a probe on the missing sabongeros. Meanwhile, the PNP says that they have now formed a special task force to investigate the incidents. Mobile journalist Pamela Vazquez gives us the front seat to this story.
As the cases of the missing sabongeros remain unsolved, the Lacson-Soto tandem has now called for a Senate inquiry. During their Meet the Press forum, former PNP Chief Ping Lacson and Senate President Tito Soto expressed alarm over the tens of cockfighters who have gone missing since January.
Hindi natin alam kung ano yung punot-dulo nito. Hindi lamang yung evil na dinudulot na ang sa sugal, pati itong nawawala pa mga sabongero.
If none of the members of the Senate presently are not interested, we can always ask the chairman of the Committee on Games to conduct an investigation.
Families of the victims already reached out to the two. Lacson added that the Philippine National Police is already pursuing a lead. According to the PNP Crime Investigation and Detection Group, 26 sabongeros are currently missing. They have formed a special task force to lead the investigation.
Right now, we are treating these cases as missing sabongeros in the absence of any concrete evidence that would indicate that there was a kidnapping case that is involved.
Last seen in cockpit arenas in Manila and 3 other provinces, the missing players were reportedly connected to an online sabong firm owned by businessman Atong Ang. The PNP CIDG has also identified a certain Julius Jovillo as a person of interest. Jovillo allegedly is the financier of 4 players in Laguna who went missing after withdrawing close to 200 million pesos from bets. Meanwhile, in a text message, Committee on Public Order Chairman Senator Bato de la Rosa said they are already planning to conduct an investigation. De la Rosa said he might pass a resolution requiring a probe if the situation remains unsolved. Mobile journalist Pamela Vazquez, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. 3 people died and 1 was wounded in a fiery car crash in the busway along EDSA earlier today. At around 2 a.m., the victim's car crashed onto the concrete barrier where it caught fire. The incident happened on EDSA's southbound lane near the P. Tuazon Tunnel, and according to authorities, all victims were members of the Philippine Air Force on their way to Villamor Air Base. Speaking to Radyo 5, MMDA General Manager Romando Artes said they still couldn't fully investigate the accident, but the survivor didn't seem to be under the influence of alcohol.
Sa ngayon, wala pong indication na nakainom po yung ating driver na aksidente. Hindi po siya nagsasalita, kakayuko lang daw po, siguro shock po.
Opo, naunawaan po natin
yun. Kaya hindi rin po natin maimbestigahan ng todo-todo.
Stars of the Filipino music industry have been recently making international headlines. Philam singer HER and rapper Saweetie have collaborated on a recent project, while icon Lea Salonga has taken a stand against Asian hate in the U.S. MJ Marfori has the story.
Filipino music icon Lea Salongas joined the list of stars calling for a stop to Asian hate in the United States. This comes after Korean-American producer Christina Yuno Lee was stabbed to death on Sunday. Lee is the 3rd person of Asian descent to fall victim to a hate crime in New York in the past 2 months. Speaking of Asians in the U.S., Filipino-American artists Her and Saweetie are raising the Filipino flag high and proud. This as they released new music. In her Twitter account, Her announced the release of their collaboration with a hashtag #Sinigang-gang. She also added a Philippine flag. The Filipino Twitter community was quick to notice the cultural references in her tweet and express support for both artists. For News 5, MJ Marfori, we are One News.
Time now for a quick look at today's headlines. The camp of Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Kiko Pangilinan are planning to take legal action after their campaign materials on private properties were removed. Senator Ping Lacson says there's an ongoing demolition job against his presidential bid. And one Cebu party endorses Mayor Sara Duterte, but not her running mate, Bongbong Marcos. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.